This is my mama's makeup and crochet channel.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. In this video, I will share with you how I price my crochet creations. This topic is actually one of the most requested crochet related videos that I've got. Anyway, I will just share with you how I do my pricing, and this is not the standard. I don't really think there is a standard method, but this is what's applicable to me. It works. Ito na yung ginagamit ko ever since. Anyway, I'm not claiming to be an expert. I-share ko lang the method that I'm using. Okay? Yun kasi yung mga tanong. I've been asked a lot of times about this. So, here it is. Personally, I use the cost of labor plus cost of materials equals the price of the item. Okay, you can also add overhead if you have other expenses. Anyway, if that's the case, you can use cost of labor plus expenses equals the price of the item. Whenever somebody sends me a message and asks me what my pricing method is, and then I will give that method, the next question would be, what's the cost of labor? How do you compute for that? That would be your rate per hour multiplied by the number of hours you spent making the project. And after that, the next question would be, what's the rate per hour? I don't think there's a standard for this again. Anyway, for us here in the Philippines, eto nabasa ko lang din and natutunan ko sa mga crochet groups. Sabi nila, it's like you're working, right? When you're making crochet projects. So, you can start with the minimum wage. So, what's the minimum wage per hour? So, let's just say 70 pesos. I think that would be the rate for beginners. Why did I say beginners? Kasi, di ba, pag medyo magaling ka na, if you're really good, of course, mabilis ka. Mabilis ka na gumawa. You can finish faster than a beginner. So, you have to promote yourself. You have to maybe give yourself a raise as well, right? Because let's say, this is an example. There is this doily that two crocheters will be making. One is a beginner and the other one is a seasoned crocheter. This doily would take the beginner about 3 hours to finish, and the seasoned crocheter can finish it in 2 hours. If these crocheters have the same rate, so let's say 70 pesos, so 3 hours natapos ni beginner and 2 hours lang natapos ni seasoned crocheter. So, parang yung cost of labor lang ni seasoned crocheter, if she has the same rate, is 140. Compared to the beginner, since 3 hours niya ginawa, 'di ba? Parang papatak sa kanya 210 yung labor cost niya. So, mas mataas siya, 'di ba? So, kung ganon, since you are already a seasoned crocheter, you're probably faster and you can read patterns faster, you can finish projects faster. So, promote yourself, give yourself a raise, maybe make it 100 or more. Yun lang. Actually, may nabasa nga ako parang kahit sa mga beginner, 100 na. So, it's up to you kung anong feel mong rate mo. Kasi actually, very sensitive tong topic na to. Minsan nag-aaway-away sa group ng crocheters na ko. Ayoko nang banggitin. Anyway, good vibes lang tayo. So, let's continue na lang with that same example. So, kunin natin yung isa. Let's say si beginner na lang. So, 3 hours niya natapos yung doily, right? So, that would be kung ang rate niya ay 70 per hour, that's 210, plus kung magkano yung cost of materials. Okay, so let's say nakaubos siya ng 2 Monaco mercerized cotton, that would be, sabihin natin nasa 40 isa, so 80. So just add it up to the cost of labor, which is 210, so 290 yung doily na yon. So, ganun lang kasimple. Ganun yung ginagawa ko. You can try to see if this method is applicable to you. Ang mahalaga naman, remember, know your worth. Huwag po tayong palugi. Always remember that handmade is not cheap. This is labor intensive and you spend a lot of time making that, and each creation is unique. Talagang hindi mo yan mauulit. Kahit sabihin natin, same pattern, same yarn ginamit mo, for sure, iba yan dun sa una mong gawa, di ba? So with that same method, you can also add a profit margin. So if you feel that aside from the labor cost that you put in your pricing, that you should add also a profit, that's okay too. So it's up to you. From what I have seen, may mga gumagawa na they add 10% profit. Again, remember to take pride on your work. If people haggle, so hindi maiwasan, syempre may tatawad. Pwede nyo na lang tanggihan, or maybe that's the best time to educate them why handmade products are not as cheap as the mass-produced ones. Also, I base the price of my works as well on the market price. Kung ano yung talagang prevailing price sa market. I have friends also who make the same crochet projects that I make. So sometimes we talk about how much this would cost. I mean, how much the pricing would be for this particular item. So hindi nalalayo. So I think that's also another way to price your item. You can ask around, right? And anyway, in some groups on Facebook, you can ask how much they usually sell this item, and other crocheters would respond and help you out with how you price your crochet creations. Before I forget, I also get this question sometimes, asking how I time my work. Of course, the easiest way to time your crochet project is that before you start, look at the time and maybe put it on your notepad. And then when you finish crocheting, or if you're not totally done and you have to take a break, again, look at the time and see how many hours you spent. Put that on your notepad. Let's say for today, you spent 4 hours on your crochet project. So just put 4 hours, and then tomorrow again, if you continue doing your crochet project, do the same thing. When you finish, just add all the hours on your notepad. And that would be the number of hours you will use for your cost of labor computation. Nowadays, I don't diligently time myself anymore because I already know how much time I spend on a particular project, because I usually just make shawls, shrugs, ponchos. So I just base my time on the previous ones that I've made. But before, I usually would listen to audiobooks, since I usually do big projects anyway. So every time I start on the project, I would play that audiobook, and then when I have to take a break, I would pause it and then play it again when I start crocheting. So after I finish the project, I would just check my audiobook, how long it has been playing. But sometimes I would finish the audiobook first before I finish the project. So I would just also check how long the audiobook was, and then for, let's say the audiobook only ran for 14 hours. Then I would just add the hours that I would still spend on the project to the audiobook. Same thing with TV shows. So I would usually watch a TV show that I have watched tons of times already, like, comedy ones like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, or The Big Bang Theory, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Because with those, I won't lose my concentration on the crochet project that I'm making. It's just like I'm playing it on the background because I've already watched it 1,000 times. Usually, let's say they would run for 20 minutes. I would just check how many episodes I was able to watch while I'm doing my crochet projects. So I will just add all the episodes that I have watched. I've also been asked a lot of times about this method, the one where you multiply the cost of materials by 3. I don't know, I just personally avoid that one because it only depends on how much you spend on the materials. This is actually a real example. A while ago, I made a shawl using Red Heart Unforgettable. I forgot the variant. Anyway, that yarn is a bit pricey. One skein costs 350 pesos. I used up 3 skeins, so that would be 1,050, right? If we use the cost of materials times 3, that would be 3,150 pesos. Okay, that is actually a good price. That's favorable for me. But let's say I use that same method with the yarns that I usually use. Like this one. This is 300 pesos. And this cake would make a full shawl already. If we use that method, 300 times 3 would be 900 pesos. So that would be the cost of the shawl. That would be my price. It's because we only base the price on the cost of materials. But let me tell you about the time I spent making these shawls, these two different shawls. With the red heart, okay, even if I used up 3 skeins for that one, the yarn was, I guess, DK weight. I'm not sure, but it's quite thick, and I used a 6mm crochet hook, and I was able to finish that full shawl in about 8 hours only. Okay, I finished that in one day. Okay, so without taking into consideration the cost of labor, the price of that shawl, which I only worked on for 8 hours, is 3,150. But with this yarn, okay, this is fingering weight, and it usually takes longer to finish one shawl because we use a smaller size hook for fingering weight, of course, and this yarn is longer. You know, I think this is about 1,300 yards, and to finish one shawl using this would take about maybe 15 to 20 hours. So you see, if I use the cost of materials times 3, it's like I'm only being paid 600 pesos for my labor, because 900 pesos, so you spent 300 on the materials, so 600 would like be your labor cost. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And then you would say, of course, you will adjust if you feel that you are not making your efforts worth or your labor's worth. You adjust the pricing. So that means that the formula is not really fixed, right? So why use that formula if you will just keep on adjusting the computation to make sure that you are getting your labor's worth and your time, right? Anyway, I just want to share that to you. So if you're using that method and it works for you, so well, good for you. Again, pricing is really a personal thing. So it's all up to you. I'm just sharing mine because I've gotten a lot of requests about this. Anyway, again, this is just me. You don't have to do this. If you have a formula that works for you, good. As long as you feel that you are getting paid accordingly, you're getting the payment that you deserve. Bottom line is, price your item fairly. So fair to you and to your buyer. Always remember that handmade products are not cheap. They're unique and made with love. I hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. See you soon. Bye!
Like if you like this video. Subscribe if you love it. Share if you care. Thank you for watching. Bye!